Hey, good morning, everybody. Looking at D's corn here right out of the gate. We are down one at 488 and a half to start the overnight. Not a bad close yesterday. Came down exactly where we talked about to that 62% retracement. We had a low of exactly 483, which is what we discussed. Found some buying there, which is good because honestly, I do not want to see us go below this low. You go below this low, and to me, you should have some real concerns about the ability of this market to be able to come back and take out these highs. This is not early. We've only had in the last 5 years, we've only had one time the market's made a high past May, and really two of those times we made the high this week in 2021 and 2022. So definitely concerning. Definitely a time frame where you need to be worried about that kind of stuff. Um, and again, from a historical standpoint, you go much below 5% from a progressive high, and it's tough to recoup that in this time frame. So this is pretty much hits the nail on the head at 5%. So we would really like to hold this low here to be able to give ourselves another opportunity to come up and take the high out that we saw uh, earlier this week. So looking at that as support, 483 in the short term. Uh, Resistance is going to be this combination of moving averages, the 5 day and the 10 day, at around 492, just below 492. So if you can take that back out, close above that, then we've got a really good shot to push up and at least re-challenge these highs in the short term. Not sure fundamentally, what's going to back that up other than all the uncertainty that we have worldwide. We do have a report next week that's going to be significant as far as giving us an idea of where the balance sheet stands right now for the 2026 crop. But short term, really do not want to see us take out this low of 483. Definitely don't want to see us close below it, and would like to see us get back above pretty quickly some of these resistance levels, especially yesterday's high, which is 491 and a half, and then these moving averages just below 492. Like I said, volume doesn't look great. We've had this had an uptick in volume as these down days has happened, so that's not something you really want to see. We are at the halfway mark here now, which is a point sometimes where it can turn itself around. It doesn't need to go oversold. Still some separation here, suggesting the possibility of some lingering downside momentum. So not a great week at all as far as being able to maintain this momentum and continue to push higher. We're not it's not doom and gloom yet, but again, don't want to see us get it closed below that 483 level. Moving into soybeans, currently up 2 1/4 at 1175 and 3/4. Really trying to push above that 5 day now. It's acting as resistance at 1177 and a half. Support will first be the overnight low of 1172 and a half, but then now we have a nice swing low from yesterday at 1164 and 3/4. This doesn't look a lot better. I would guess still that there's a very good shot that you take this out and come on down to this trend line. It just seems like a likely situation to me, but if you can get a close above this high, then I'll have to change my tune on that, and that would be 1178 and a quarter. Still some separation down here. Still a lot of room to go down here, or not a bad place to turn around. So this is one we'll just have to watch the price action. I would still guess that down is the most likely scenario for this market, other than not like corn where you look at that and it might have done what it needed to do yesterday as far as downside. This one still looks pretty vulnerable to me. Quick glance at KC wheat. Trying to push back above that trend line. Had an ugly close yesterday near the lows. It was the only one that couldn't really come back from what was taking place yesterday. Closed below that trend line. Trend lines aren't perfect, so it could be right on it right now. It's trying to push back above it. It's going to find resistance there where we're at right now at 681 and a quarter, and then also up at this convergence of the 5 day and 10 day around 690. In that range. So big volume days when we were selling off, not great. Separation still here, suggesting some lingering downside momentum, and just an ugly close yesterday. So if you take out this low 675 and a quarter, and you can see some selling jump on real quick. It could take us down to this 657 mark pretty quickly. So, all right, we'll just have to watch it today. Again, don't want to see corn below 683, especially not on a closing basis. All right, everybody have a great day.